So that's why being healthy is quite important to us. Oftentimes what we eat is a lot more important than what we do not eat. Then we have another two things, fitness and mobility. So the less important things become, the higher they are towards the top of it. Only thing we can really change about that is how we react to it and how we perceive it. So all of those things can help to sleep a little bit better and a bit more deeply during the night. Again, you need to find something that works for you. There's no, are you aware of your emotions, and also can you cope with those? So that is the ability to interact with other people and to form meaningful relationships. Then we have clinical markers, so that would be your blood pressure, how much fat mass you have on your body. Then we have another two things, fitness and mobility. So can you still walk? Can you get in and out of your car without a problem? And are you strong enough to, for example, carry your shopping bags or to pick up your child, pick up your grandchild, things like that. So that is your physical health. Your mental health, we have emotional and psychological health. Emotional meaning, are you aware of your emotions, and also can you cope with those even if they're negative or also if they're positive. Your psychological health, obviously, can you form a rational thought and can you think logically? So that is the second part. The last one, social health, so that is the ability to interact with other people and to form meaningful relationships with other people. So obviously there's a lot of different kinds of relationships we have in our life. We have friendships, we have intimate relationships, family, work, platonic relationships, and also are you able to kind of differentiate between those in different social situations. Obviously, you'd be behaving quite differently with your friends going out to a bar or with your grandmother at home. I would hope that you behave slightly differently in those situations. So the importance of all of this. So because I come from the CrossFit world, we often talk about the sickness, wellness, and fitness continuum. So basically what we try and do here with this sickness, wellness, and fitness continuum is it focuses on the idea that consistent, proper nutrition and exercise kind of serves as a function and as a preventative measure to protect against sickness. So basically what that means is all the things that we spoke about earlier, your physical health, your mental health, and all of that, you can be placed on this continuum, right? And the further towards the right, the further towards the fitness side you are, the more kind of safeguarded you are in case something happens, right? We kind of saw that a few years ago with COVID, that the more healthy you were and the more fit you were, the less likely you were to end up in hospital by a bout of COVID. And if you already start out kind of towards the left side of the continuum, you'll probably end up a little bit more sick than other people. So that's why being healthy is quite important to us. So some influences on your nutrition and on your health. The first ones are non-nutrition related. So we have stress, your physical activity, and then also your sleep. Stress is obviously a normal part of everyone's life, and we can't really get rid of it completely. Prolonged or chronic stress can have a lot of negative effects on your health. The only thing we can really change about that is how we react to it and how we perceive it. So you can kind of try and change your environment or deal with it a little bit differently. You can try and find enjoyable physical exercise or activity for you to deal with it a bit better, or any other hobbies. And also restful sleeping helps a lot to deal with your stress a little bit better. So physical activity, like I said earlier, a great way to relieve your stress and anxiety. It releases endorphins, so substances in your body that make you feel a bit more happy. It supports strong muscles and strong bones, helps with weight management, and can even reduce the risk of some diseases. What type? Basically anything that you enjoy. It can be walking, can be dancing, can be lifting weights, playing soccer, as long as you have fun doing it and you go back to it and kind of make it part of your lifestyle. The WHO recommends 150 to 300 minutes of moderate intensity. So basically that means you breathe a little bit harder than normal, aerobic exercise per week. And with that, we want to have at least 2 days of muscle strengthening activity. So lifting weights, kind of everyone should be lifting weights, no matter what gender, no matter what age we are. Then we have sleep, so it's recommended to sleep at least 7 hours a night. We have quite a few detrimental effects if you sleep less than that chronically. So for better sleep, if you struggle with your sleep, you want to try and make your room as cold as possible, also make it as dark as possible during the night. We also want to skip the afternoon caffeine, and then also no electronic screens 30 minutes before you go to bed. So all of those things can help to sleep a little bit better and a bit more deeply during the night. Then, next part, we're going to chat a bit about nutrition. So, nutrition is obviously a foundational component of our health. It drives immune function, it drives your energy levels, it also drives physical development. We can prevent a lot of chronic diseases like diabetes or high blood pressure and those kinds of things with our nutrition. So overall, a balanced, nutrient-dense diet, we're going to talk about nutrient-dense just now, can support bodily function, it will strengthen your immune system, it aids in healthy weight management, and it will improve mental well-being across all life stages. So we like to talk in kind of pyramid form often in nutrition. So like a pyramid, we have the foundation, which is the most important part, and then towards the top, the less important things become, the higher they are towards the top of it. And oftentimes nowadays, a lot of people focus on the top part, so supplementation, but that is really, if your foundation isn't up to par, all the supplementation in the wall is not going to do much of a change. So we're going to focus on the bottom two for now. So sustainable lifestyle habits. So lifestyle is obviously the way in which you live your life, and a habit is a behavioral pattern that becomes almost involuntary. So you just do it without thinking about it too much. And that can apply to your sleep, to your stress, physical activity, and obviously your nutrition. Again, you need to find something that works for you. There's no one size fits all. Then your food choices have a great influence on your overall health and well-being. And often when we eat the healthier and minimally processed foods, we already feel a lot better just through that. And if you're trying to eat for health sustainably, so meaning you can maintain it for the rest of your life, hopefully, oftentimes what we eat is a lot more important than what we do not eat. And nowadays, a lot of the diets that you can kind of see on social media focus on cutting this out, cutting that out, but it's a lot more important too. What are we putting in? And then there's a lot of space for all the other stuff as well. So, a super important concept is nutrient-dense foods versus energy-dense foods. So nutrient-dense means they are generally lower in calories, but they contain a lot of vitamins, minerals, and fiber, which are obviously great for your health. And then energy-dense means they are higher in calories and generally a little bit lower in the vitamins and minerals and the fiber. So we obviously want to focus on the nutrient-dense foods for our health. And there, we like to talk about the 80-20 principle. So 80% of the time, we want to try and stick to the nutrient-dense foods, and then 20% of the time, it is optional for you, but you can incorporate all of the other foods that you enjoy still into your diet without making too much of a dent into your health. And it is a lot easier also to stick to an 80-20 principle 100% of the time than trying to do something that goes 100% and zero that never really works for too long. So try and focus on the 80-20 principle. So this graph kind of describes on where the 80% should lie. So towards the right, towards the green side, we have the things that are a little bit considered more healthy, and towards the left, the things that are optional, 20%. So on the right, we have the vegetables, the fruits, we have complex carbohydrates, so that would be like whole grain products, beans, anything like that. We have proteins, and then we have healthy fats. On the left side, so the things that you can incorporate, because a lot of people obviously do enjoy those, are sugar sweetened beverages, any type of fast food, any sort of sweets, and then obviously also alcohol. So beer and wine would also fall into that category where that's the 20%, so what we really don't want to focus on too much. Then the last thing I'm going to talk about, and Liz will continue from there onwards, is easy first steps. So things that you can easily do even today to just make your diet a little bit healthier. So you can try and add extra vegetables to just one meal of your day. So if you never eat any vegetables, just try and have a tomato for lunch, or have a few carrots. Just add a little bit. You can add some protein to your meal. So if you never have any sort of protein, try and add a little bit of, could be beans, could be lentils, could be some chicken, whatever you want. You can make your food intake more consistent. So if you're someone that skips breakfast some days, and then you have breakfast and you don't eat for 5 hours, then you eat a little bit, try and make it a little bit more consistent throughout your days. You can add fresh fruits into your day, so have an extra apple a day keeps the doctor away, still kind of applies. And then you can also try and replace sugary drinks with water, hopefully, or also zero sugar alternatives. Okay, so those are all things that you can try and implement today to make your diet a little bit more healthy. Okay, thank you. That was it for me for now until the Q&A.